everyone, welcome back to another Mania 4K World Cup 2025 showcase. This is going to be the semi-final showcase. We're here after a very exciting round of quarterfinals this year. Some amazing matches, some extremely close ones. Some incredible upsets as well, but I'm not here to summarize this weekend for you guys. You can go back and watch after this this showcase. But yeah, with the top 12 teams that are in place, I think it's about time we show you guys what we have in store for you. My name is Mint, and I'm here joined with Alexire. What's up?
Hello. I'm really looking forward to semifinals right now. Especially with the teams. I think we all saw that even in quarters, we had some really interesting lineups, really interesting upsets, So I do think that the following pool will definitely match up with the skill these people have.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just honestly, just like in general, I'm just really hyped about this pool in particular. There's just a lot of interesting things going on here. Like, I don't even know what to say. I can't wait to show it off. I really can't. It's gonna be really exciting. I can't wait for you guys to see what we have in store. I mean, without further ado, let's just get right into Rice 1, shall we?
The chase.
Alright, so first off, we have Highlottle's Senko no Yukue. This one is, it's a Rice 1, so if you know what the map structure is like, you basically know what to expect. Very fast, sort of streamy patterns, single streams, lots of that sort of stuff. I would say a little bit, okay, so based on the speed, it is slightly faster than it's going down now. That was 336, this is around 350 at peak during the courses, and I will say the verse sections are a little bit lighter than you might expect given the previous two Rice 1 maps in round 16 quarterfinals, but overall I would say like it pretty much follows that sort of formula that we were going with. That sort of like streams in the choruses and then sort of lighter patterns and like elsewhere. It's kind of that's kind of the vibe we're going for here. 350 BPM, it's pretty fast, but honestly, in terms of stamina, it's not really like it's more of a consistency thing, I would say. And even then, it's like really short, 2 minutes 9 seconds, and a lot of that is like relatively like calm, like breaks sort of sections, so not really sustained all that much. But you definitely have to watch out for like the consistency aspect, and some of the transitions are also like we can see some here, like the mini jacks right there. Those can definitely trip players up as well if they're not looking out very carefully.
I must have to agree, but it's always a funny surprise seeing trails and not charted by Lemon Guy, But I think that's interesting because now I believe for all the generic slots for streams, jump stream, stamina, and chord jack, we've seen something by Falcom in the slot, It's interesting how versatile that ends up being.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
yeah, that does bring us to the end.
Yep, that was Rice 1. I mean, it just goes by really quickly. I mean, I feel like a lot of these maps are gonna be pretty short, but also like the other half will probably be like more on the longer side. Just kind of give an idea of what to expect for this map pool. Yeah. With that being said, we can go into Rice 2. This is going to be Cosmos by Miari Chesu. This one is, I mean, fairly anchory, sort of 270 jump stream. It's Miari Chesu jump stream. You kind of know what to expect if you've been here for the past couple years.
Indeed. I believe we've seen Miaori Chezu's jump streams quite often now, especially outside Mania World Cup in specific, so I do believe they have quite the recognizable approach to jump stream, and this is no exception.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean, it's just like with this being the not stamina slot, this is still fairly like draining, all things considered. Like the way that the anchors are patterned, it's very very rough in my opinion, and the trills they definitely don't like it's really really intense the whole way through, but you really just have to watch out for those sorts of things.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, all over there's two-hand trills, the occasional one-hand trill. You know, I believe, as I said, that is no surprise coming from Nyarijezu.
Absolutely, and I think I would say the second half definitely gives you more breaks than the first half does. So we'll probably see some of that coming up soon. But in general, I will say that this is, I mean, definitely comparable to last year's Ucho Tenryuhashi. If I had to give a comparison to last year's, but I think this is definitely more intense overall. I'm not really sure. I think it basically, yeah, I think I feel comfortable saying that. It is more intense overall.
Sure, we did just see that, like, small break, but it goes right back in, as expected. But as it does that, it also does end off the chart rather fast.
Absolutely, yeah. It goes by really fast. Again, like these are the short. These are meant to be like relatively short slots after all. It makes sense. The next one, however, will not be as short. It will be around 3 minutes 30 seconds. This is going to be Violent Storm by Lemon Guy. This is 260 BPM, so it's slightly faster than previous rounds, or not previous rounds, but like previous year's semifinals. But I will say the jump stream, it's not really focused on jump stream as much as you might expect. It definitely has like a lot of jump stream, that's for sure. But you'll see some mini jacks, you'll see some bursts, some sort of sweeps, the streams, like trills, all sorts of things. You definitely have to watch out for the trills, because those are absolutely brutal. Especially in the second half, we'll be seeing some really long, extended two-handed trills, and we already saw a few one-handed trills coming in on both hands earlier. We're not even a quarter of the way through the map, we already saw some crazy patterns. And it just gets even more difficult towards the second half as we approach the solo sections, which are really, really rough. So you really have to watch out for your stamina. Even though this is not sustained patterning, this will drain you if you don't watch out. If you continue to sort of max out your gains, you will feel the drain. And we're in semifinals now. This is no joke. This is like, these patterns will really really get to you if you're not careful about managing your stamina wisely.
Indeed. You know, I was just mentioning how it was interesting to see not Lemon Guy make a Trails map, but you know, here we are. Lemon Guy does in fact make the appearance short after. And it is of an expected slot, of course, you know, Lemon Jump Stream. That is always a surprise. Or surprise? Maybe the opposite, actually. But, you know, I believe we're all too familiar with Lemon.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Lemon stamina is definitely... We're no stranger to Lemon stamina here in MWC, but I would say that this map, it does deviate from I guess, the typical formula a little bit, but probably not too much. But here we get the trills, the two-handed trills that I was talking about. I think we get more later on, but definitely you want to watch out for those. Those are pretty cruel.
Indeed, cruel patterning, always in a Lemon chart. I mean, it wouldn't be one without it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you really have to have these sorts of things for a Lemon Guy chart, or else it wouldn't be a Lemon Guy chart. You know, you have to add those anchors, you have to have those like flams, you have to, like, you have to throw everything in there. Really, it can't just be like sharpshoot jump streams straight all the way through. It really can't, and especially for stamina pick, it does kind of get tedious when you have to play a singular pattern for 3+ minutes straight. So really, this is kind of a shakeup that we wanted to sort of introduce. for the players to be able to kind of make the stamina pick a little bit more interesting in terms of strategy. So that's definitely something that we took into consideration.
Yeah, I mean, stamina at a baseline is just anything that drains your stamina, so doesn't have to be very specific jump stream.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, that is the end of this stamina pick. So with that, we go into core jacks.
Yeah, we have Midorigo Queen Bee by Dorjin. This one is really, I mean, okay, so this is our core jack pick. This song is from Umineko, for those of you who are fans of that. Shout out to Umineko. But yeah, I mean, this is very heavily focused on these 3-note anchors. And the intro, I think, demonstrates that really well as a motif that kind of continues on for the rest of the map. I will say the patterning is around the same, like, in terms of just difficulty as Danger Danger, but maybe a little bit more awkward on the one-handed stuff, and less on the 4-note jack type of things. We definitely, I don't think we have any 4-note long anchors in this map actually at all, but it's definitely harder just because of the sort of like one-handed sort of things you kind of have to do in this map. And of course the BPM increases by about 3, so there you go.
Yeah, I do believe it's similar to, kind of in the similar, oh, sorry, stuttered. It's similar in structure to Tree of Misery, perhaps, in the sense that it kind of progresses with the difficulty as it continues. But as we can see right now, it's already very tough pattern-wise. But, you know, we do get a break here.
Yeah, absolutely. It is fairly long for a core jack pick, especially considering our previous core jack picks. But yeah, I mean, the break section is really long, so you get quite a lot of that sort of downtime. But you have to watch out for this one-handed alternating mini-jack thing going on here. That's definitely something you have to keep in mind because, I mean, I don't think you'd expect to see those sorts of things all the time in core jack maps. You get this sort of like anchored on the 4th column there. It's kind of like the very interesting sort of gimmick that kind of comes back from the beginning.
I do want to bring up, I believe this is the first map from Dower to appear this year, is that correct?
This is true, yeah, and I think the first map of theirs to appear in any MWC at all. So yeah, welcome to the club.
I believe many people do actually know who this person is, but as of
very
now, they go by,
from what I know,
they go by a different name in Eterna now, which is either Sanctuary or Marzi.
Yep,
I believe there's a formula to which name is used, but it is at essentially a baseline, no different. Yeah. Yep.
Again, welcome. I hope you guys give them a welcome to Osu. Welcome? Okay,
yeah, no, that does bring us to the end.
Absolutely. And that was our Rice 4. That was our core jack pick. Now we're getting into our tech picks, and we're going to see some familiar faces here with Rice 5. We have High 19, High 19. Don't be alarmed at the hard to pronounce title. That we're just gonna call that New Treasure Island. For those of you the name is the treasure is spelled backwards and it's embedded in the you'll figure it out.
I haven't figured it out, but I'm gonna pretend I understood that. With that said, though, it does go straight into the typical, I guess you could say, FFR core kind of tech as we see here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, light tech, definitely not how I would describe this, but it is our light tech slot. So it's kind of like a jump stream burst kind of thing. Very few mini jacks, I would say, if at all. But these patterns are really, really rough, honestly. Like, personally, like, the anchors in these maps, in the trills, the burst, it throws a lot at you, kind of at once. It's very difficult to sort of kind of maintain your composure on those.
Yeah, and I do want to bring up that I believe a solid like half of this file was 7 years old, and then High 19 offered to finish the file for us. So many thanks.
Yeah, it is very funny because, like, yeah, as you said, High 19 basically dug this out of their hard drive and was like, hey, this works, and we were like, yeah, it does. It was like, wow.
Indeed. Yeah, no, it did work out quite well. So, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. This chart, it just, especially in the second half, I want to say the anchors really start to appear more and more intensely, and as you really can see, it's like this behemoth of a chart just continues to throw more at you as it goes on.
But it is on the rather shorter side,
That
as we
is
can
true.
see.
It is quite short, for sure. I think this is definitely one of the more, like, one of the probably more strategic sort of picks in like the middle of the round, I would say. Like, as you're maybe like up by 3 points or so, this is definitely something you want to pick if you're strong on rice.
For sure. But with that, we'll go
And yeah,
into the next one,
we have
typically known as the
another
vocal dump slot.
yeah, we have another new face here. This is Dosho, also known as Shingren. Uh, this is an interesting chart. So again, like another new face in MWC, but we've seen them in tournaments before, such as 40M. But this is gonna be our vocal dump, as you said. Some gluts here and there, but mostly it is mostly streamy. It is pretty difficult, all things considered. But yeah, mostly this is just your typical sort of streaming anime dump, in my opinion. It's got that sort of vibe going for it.
Yeah, it works out very well. I mean, if you are familiar with anything by Doshos, or probably better known as Jingren, they do make very vocal dumpy type charts, so, you know, definitely checks out.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is basically like, as you said, like it's just what you'd expect from Shingren's sort of library. But yeah, we're getting this like Zranio trill here, and just kind of going into the second half with like kind of a light, sort of lighter dump section. But yeah, it more or less just kind of just does it all over again, I think.
Essentially, I believe it's very well done in terms of snaps. There's variety, but it's all kind of like isolated in the sense that
Yeah, for sure.
you know what you're playing.
It's like straightforward. Yeah, there's no part where it's like, I don't know what that pattern. Like, I've never seen that pattern in my life. It's definitely like stuff that you will be very comfortable with. Like, it's all a matter. It's less a matter of reading and more of a matter of just sort of like just playing through the chart, essentially.
Yep. I do believe this also does repeat twice with the chorus, which we're seeing right now. But that does also lead us into the end right after.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll notice that the artist, it does say various artists. That is because otherwise we'd have to list out every single one of the characters' names and their characters' voice acting. It was just too much to fit in. It doesn't, like, Osu doesn't let you put that many characters in the titles or in the artist field. So
Yeah.
yeah, with that being said, that was Gekisho Infinity. Rice 6, let's go to Rice 7. This is Contradiction by Autotelic Brown.
Indeed it is, and I believe this was a, what's it called? Original song for, I forgot the tournament.
I want to say TWC 2025. This was an original for TWC 2025.
Yes, that is correct. So
a fairly
seeing
recent
that.
song, all things considered. Maybe like 5 months old, if we were to give it a given age.
Yeah. And we're very familiar with the type of charts Autotelic Brown has made before, so this is definitely in the ballpark of what you'd see.
Yeah, this one, I'm comfortable with saying that this is the hardest map.
Oh, for
But
sure.
I'm sure people will disagree with me because the LNs exist, but, this one, it's brutal. Especially the ending. You just wait for the ending. You'll see it.
Singular Ellen in a rice chart is basically the reason why it's the hardest thing in the pool. Trust.
So true. But yeah, I would say this is our mini jack sort of heavy tech focused pick.
Yeah.
Lots of mini jacks, 3-note jacks. Got a lot of burst, and then in the second half we'll get some crazy like long jacks. This one's all over the place, and we love it for that.
Yeah, I mean, each pool always has that one map that's very heavy on jacks in general, and this is definitely it.
For sure, yeah. And like, if I had to give it a comparison to a previous NWC map, it would definitely be Obligatory. I think that one, also by Autotelic Brown, back in 2020 or 2021, I forget. But that was, if you're familiar with that one, if you've been around for a while, you definitely see the similarities. I would say like the songs are pretty similar as well. So just
I know,
like
for sure.
considering all that, for sure.
It definitely feels like a successor in terms.
Yeah, for sure. And we're getting into the 300 BPM section now, which is basically like 150 jacks in burst. This sort of long jacks we're getting into, and it's gonna speed up. It's gonna speed up to around 340 at the end. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. These long jacks do not, they are really brutal. They do not let up.
No, not at all. Yeah.
There's no leeway for these sorts of patterns. You really just have to hit them.
Once you get to this section, it's just like...
There's really long jacks too.
Dude.
Oh, this part is really funny.
It's interesting. It's got jacks.
It just speeds up here.
Bursts. It's everything, man.
And what's funny is that I don't think that's even the longest long jacks we'll see in the pool. But
what a surprise.
That's for a later time. We'll be looking at now that Rice is done, since we've finished with looking at Rice 7. That means we're going to the hybrids.
Yep.
So this is hybrid 1. This is Anemone, mapped by Yusta and Vito. This one is a pretty sort of like standard 256 BPM, lots of broken jump stream, and with tight inverses interspersed between those patterns. It is fairly straightforward, all things considered. You definitely, not really any different from the previous hybrid ones that you'd come to expect from NWC.
Yep. I mean, I think this is an interesting song choice for the specific slot, but I can't complain because it works.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that the map it does play fairly smoothly. Like, the patterns are very, like, they're unintrusive, but I'm trying to, there's a word that I'm looking for, like, it escapes me right now, but it's just, unintrusive is the best I can come up with right now.
Yeah.
It really just, it lets you kind of, not necessarily autopilot, but just like kind of have an easier way of going through them.
Yeah, I mean, the patterns themselves, snap-wise, it's rather straightforward, which is expected, but...
Yeah, I think the main difficulty of this is really just the physicality of it, and just sort of like being able to, I guess, maintain high accuracy in these sorts of tight LN sections. That's pretty much the main difficulty of the map, I think.
For sure. This is also under 2 minutes, so, very, very short pick. Every miss
I
counts.
believe this is the shortest pick in the entire pool.
Yeah, I think that is, sounds about right. But with that said and done, this map is said and done.
Yeah, for sure. And with Hybrid 1 out of the way, that does mean we are making way for our Hybrid 2. which is which is
There we
Dans la Mer de
go.
Son.
I'm sure many of you are familiar with this.
Yeah, this is a ranked map. It was made for Mania French Tournament 4K 2024. And it was ranked a while ago, but this is a cut version. So you'll be seeing some familiar patterns.
Is the cut any different from the one used in the French tournament?
I think, okay, the cut is identical. I had to change the audio because I didn't like the way that I cut it before.
Interesting.
But
okay.
it's the exact same.
Yeah, so anyone who played in that, well, I guess was just French players, right?
It was, yeah, French players and everyone who's played the ranked version.
Yep. So I believe there's a lot that could
Here's
be said.
the long track I was
already
talking
known.
about. There you go.
It's a good
the long
BPM
track
though.
Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. It's 175. It's fairly comfortable for most players, I would imagine.
I would hope. I mean, look at the players we have. I feel like this is too easy for them almost.
This is the map that where Two Hit the Long Jack came from, I think.
This is it, yes.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Get this quick transition into the main drop. Yeah, and
yeah, we're getting this sort of like main bulk of the shield difficulty here.
Yeah, in typical Hybrid 2 fashion, you get shields, and you know maybe another shield
some
here
more
and there.
shields. Yeah, I was thinking about more shields.
Yeah. But this does have some variation in other spots, as you saw, which were more fluid on the snaps.
Yeah, I will say in terms of actual like shields, I think this is like fairly comfortable, honestly. It's just physical. It's very physical, so you really gotta watch out for that. But it's not like uncomfortable in the slightest, I would say.
No, it does work out quite well. I believe there's not much left that can be pointed out, as I believe everyone experienced enough in tournaments already knows what this map's all about.
Absolutely, yeah. Dans la Mer de Son. That is French for in the Sea of Sound. And you know, I hear Paris is beautiful this time of year.
Really?
Yeah, I've always wanted to take a visit to the Disneyland there and, you know, just kind of sit down, crunch on a baguette while eating a croque monsieur.
Sounds fun.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Sure would.
Well, what if I told you that you can do that right now with Hybrid 3?
Really? Let's see it.
Il y a toujours beaucoup de monde à ce bal.
Je ne danse pas très bien, vous savez, Nicole.
Ça ne fait rien. Vous savez danser le twist, n'est-ce pas?
Oui, ce n'est pas difficile.
Bien. Moi, j'adore le cha-cha-cha.
c'est cette danse?
C'est un foxtrot. Vous aimez ça?
J'aime mieux les danses modernes, comme le Madison et la bossa nova.
Moi, j'adore le cha-cha-cha.
Yeah, that was Saint Patron, I guess, by Ruby My Dear. It was mapped by Abraxos and CRZ Fola 1217. This is, of course, as you may have already guessed, an OSU original for MWC 4K 2025. Just a special shout out to the people who helped with the background. Zeth, graphic design, Panthulu, design quality assurance, and Sakura006 for design coordination. Thank you so much to you guys for all the good work. A little bit about the map. This was kind of an interesting one because we didn't exactly approach Ruby My Dear directly. It was more so, I don't actually know how it went down, but eventually at some point, Mango comes up to us and is like, hey, we have a bunch of songs from Ruby My Dear, pick one and we'll use it. And then I was like, whoa, like that's incredible. And like Ruby My Dear is like, of course, a major mainstay in OSU, but OSU Mania especially, like just like the history that that Ruby My Dear songs have had in OSU Mania. It goes way back. So it's an honor to have them featured in MWC 4K. As for the map, I'm sure you noticed the similarities, as I alluded to earlier, to Croque Monsieur Disneyland, which is a 2020 map. It's ranked by Abraxos back then, and it is a Ruby My Dear song as well. The map itself, as a hybrid 3, it is definitely the hybrid 3 to end all hybrid 3s. It is probably the trickiest sort of like set of patterning that you'll probably ever see in hybrid 3s. And I will say, like, the patterning is just so absurdly difficult, but it really just, it flows so well. I don't know, like, it's very, very wonderfully mapped. I want to give a special shout out to Abraxos and Fola for mapping it so succinctly and so wonderfully. And I do also want to mention something about the song. Funnily enough, I don't know if you guys noticed, but for the time signature nerds out there, the second half of the song is entirely in 17/4. So just do with that what you will.
It's quite interesting, you know, but I believe out of all hybrid 3s, this is the most hybrid 3 a hybrid 3 can get, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I mean, it's just, you really just can't, you can't get more hybrid 3s than this. You really can't.
Yep, but I believe that's enough, and we should just get on to the LN pool now.
Absolutely, I can't wait to see what we have in store for LNs. We have Missing by Mysterion and Hylaudel. This is probably one of our weirder LN ones, but it's like it I don't know how to describe it. It's like an LN1, but if it was like weird. I don't know.
Yeah. For a second, I forgot that the title was changed to be in English, so I was like, wait, I don't recognize this one.
Yeah. Yeah, the Japanese title is Mitsukanai Mitsukanai, and you'll hear that a lot in the choruses.
As said right here, convenient timing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we have this sort of like chorus sort of pattern. These are more straightforward in terms of the patterning, but I mean, still very sort of. You really have to play it to feel it, but it just feels a lot lighter. It feels like you're kind of like going round and round, almost.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting with how the motion and like the finger control is in this.
Yeah, absolutely. It really, you just have to play it to feel it. I think it's very unique in that sense.
For sure. Yeah, no, I think it's very interesting. And for the coordination slot, this is a very good song choice. Kikuo is always very, very impressive with their songs.
Absolutely, huge shout out to Kiko. I love Kiko so much.
Yeah, we do have a small break here.
Yeah, I mean, more or less the same in the second half. I think, like, yeah, you get the chorus repeating again, and then you kind of get a little outro.
Yeah, we do get another. I think this is a repetition.
Yeah, this is it's the chorus again, so yeah.
Yeah. Not much to point out for the second run.
For sure. I mean, we are gonna get into the sort of outro section, which I would say like the releases definitely they go off of the sort of 1/4 grid that you're kind of used to for LN coordination. And they start to gear into like 1/6 a little bit. We have here like some flams that are a little bit faster than 1/4 right here.
It's very interesting.
For sure.
But we do go into the outro here with many, what's it, streams, I guess? And then it kind of fades into this jack motion.
I think it is very interesting how like this sort of like jack motion, as you described, is so decorated with so many different like sorts of flams. But it just really feels like it really does feel like that. Like that is what really makes LN coordination, in my opinion. And yeah, there we go. That's LN1.
I think it's a good start.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I'd say it's a little longer than maybe we usually expect. But that the length of LN1s will start to ramp up starting from here. So it definitely you'll be I guess anticipating the sort of length for LN1s from now on. With that being said, we can go into LN2. Pixel Planet by Toph Daddy.
Of
if
course.
you have been around for a while here, you will recognize Toph Daddy in an instant for this sort of LN density. Very sort of like in terms of song choice, very unique sort of song choice. A lot of sort of happy hardcore chiptunes kind of stuff. This is no, I mean, for those of you, again, those of you who have seen last year's pool will be no stranger to this type of vibe. A lot of trills, a lot of anchors, and a lot of bursts too. You'll be surprised about the bursts, but they're here, and they're here to stay.
Yep. I believe Toph's density is nothing to be unfamiliar with, you know?
Absolutely.
Every year, they always have covered at least one density slot, and as you can see, this year, he's covering semifinals. Who knows if he'll do it again, but as expected, it's just very, very solid.
Yeah, I mean, these patterns are just, I mean, like, again, like LN density, there's not much to say, but it's also like you really have to feel it to be able to kind of get a grasp of what kind of, like, what you're sort of expecting from these. Like, a lot of those anchors, like, they they don't hold back. Especially with the burst, like that burst right there, like it's just, again, like, you really have to, like, just play it, honestly.
The way Toph just makes bursts within density charts is like
It's very
astonishing.
unique,
I don't know
yeah.
how it works so well. It just
For
does.
sure, yeah.
But as expected of a rather short map, that does bring us to the end.
Yeah, and like short, I'm thinking about like small numbers, but we gotta go big numbers, bro. I'm really thinking like Alexar, I'm gonna put
Mhm.
you on the spot for a second, right?
All right.
Hear me out on this, right? What is the biggest number that you can think of right now? What the biggest number?
That's hard. Maybe like 6 billion or something.
Oh, 6 billion. That's an interesting choice. I was also thinking about 6
Took a
billion.
lot of brain power.
Thinking about 6 billion. Speaking of 6 billion, why don't we take a look? And that was 6 Billion Monsen by Marmalade Butcher. This was mapped by CRZ Kreiserling. And before we move on, I do want to just give another shout out to our design team, Amphi for the photography, what a beautiful photo that is, Panthulu for graphic design and design quality assurance, and finally, last but not least, Sakura006 for design coordination. Thank you so much. And thank you to Marmalade Butcher for such a wonderful original. This is the 4th original that they made this year for OSU World Cups, and the last one will be appearing in OWC. No spoilers. But yeah, I mean, what a nice song. I just there's nothing really to say about it. It's just like I love this song a lot.
Great.
This is going straight to my playlist once it's out. Like it's just so good. But yeah, I mean the map itself, I would say it occupies a similar slot to Fatal Entanglement. It's got a lot of these sort of accurate, complex guitar snaps. We're seeing like some kind of difficult LN jump stream in the second half, but most of the patterns are like kind of coordination-y, but you kind of get more heavy, like sort of like long jacks and interspersed flams in between, to the point where it's like not really coordination anymore. Like it doesn't really like feel like you're playing the same kind of slot as LN1, but it's like close enough to where it's like you can kind of see it. But yeah, I mean this map is just it kind of goes all over the place, but it's fairly straightforward in terms of like snaps and, well, not snaps, but like rhythmic sort of like accuracy. Like you're not really getting any like dumps or anything like that. You're just kind of getting straightforward LN here. That's not, you can't really say the same thing about the next map. The next map is really just, it's completely different.
Why don't we go right into that?
Yeah, it's LN4. Why don't we just get into it? It's not a custom, but it is the cat evolved into the microwave-proof cat by Silicosis 2.
Yep.
Also known as Cobb03.
I think this is another one a lot of people might recognize. It is ranked right now, right?
It is ranked, yes.
Yeah, but this was made for one of the MBC's monthly beat mapping competitions, and the restriction was you can only use long notes. And this was the second place winner, I think?
No, this was one. Wait,
No, I believe this got seconds. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, this was. Yeah, I'm rewriting history here, sorry. This did get second.
Yep. But I do believe there were a few edits that do remove some long notes, so I guess that restriction is broken now. But all for the sake of making the pool better, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. We edited out 83 of the long notes.
That's still not too many, you know.
Yeah,
Very long note heavy.
This is really tricky, by the way. Like in terms of physicality, this is pretty low there, but like the accuracy is absurd. It is so tricky for some of these elements. I would say, like, in terms of like its placement in the pool, it definitely occupies a similar sort of position as maybe Slaughter from 2022.
I would have to agree for the most part, yeah.
Like, you kind of get this, like, a similar vibe, for sure. It's definitely more release-heavy, that's for sure. But I think the pattern palette is fairly similar, all things considered.
Yeah. You know, as we just saw that one section with the mini jack into the... I don't even know what you would call it, but the sound it represents works really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get this quick break section, essentially. And then get that build up.
Yeah, back to cat flames.
Yes.
You get a little nice burst there. That one's really fun.
It's very fun, interesting. Yeah, no, it is, I believe it was already mentioned, yeah, this is upgraded on 1.05. 1.0 didn't quite cut it, but this works very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of you are noticing that, like, I mean, we usually have like a sort of like a shield-heavy LN, but I mean, this time we felt like it didn't really work out in favor of the pool. So this is not really. I wouldn't like this is the dump sort of LN pick. This is a technical LN pick, while the previous one I would say is like kind of wild card sort of. It's hard to put that one in the box. But yeah, that's just kind of how, like, in terms of pooling, that's how we kind of envision it.
Yeah. But you get one more repetition of the chorus. Just, you know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
always gotta.
Oh, those trills they're really fun. I love those trills so much.
They work
they're
so well
super
in the map's
enjoyable.
favor. Yeah. But with that summed up, we go to the outro.
Yeah, I mean that's our last non-TB map to show you guys.
Yeah.
It just goes by so fast. I mean, we might as well just leave it here. Like we don't even need to see the TB.
Honestly, I'd have to
Honestly, we can just
agree.
leave it here. We can let's take a vacation. Let's take a vacation.
Where?
Let's go to Alexar. Where would you want to go on vacation?
I don't know. I'm feeling like, you know, tropical desert kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, maybe drop the tropical. Let's go with yeah, okay, yeah, bye guys. We're going on vacation now. See you. We're going to Egypt. We're going to Egypt. We're gonna see the pyramids, the Sphinx, all the things going on there in Cairo. We're gonna have a good time. You know what? Like it's gonna be a blast, Alexa. I can't wait to go on a vacation with you, buddy.
Two.
We deserve it after pooling all this, man. So much pooling. We don't got time to relax, man.
Yeah. All right. We'll see
Alright,
you.
bye guys. Bye everyone. See you. Bye. We have nothing left to show you. Bye. Well, it's good to be back.
I had
That was a nice
fun.
vacation, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's pretty peaceful.
Yeah. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was semifinals tiebreaker, Engdatron Collider by Ko. What a map! I just don't really know what to say. Like, this is
Interesting.
yeah. Shout out to the design team. Let's run the names, shall we?
Yeah.
Naria Cat for illustrations, Alex Dunk and the Funk for graphic design, Promachos for the storyboard, Second Over 3 for video, Len Lichu for video as well, and Sakura 06 for the video. Len Lichu again for design quality assurance, along with Red CXCA, Panthulu, and Nafi also for design quality assurance, and Sakura 06 for video and design coordination. Thank you all so much. This was an amazing storyboard, and I mean, this map is crazy aura, don't you think?
Sure. You know, it is interesting to see that 3 people on the SV team of MWC last year helped work on this for the design.
Quite interesting. You're here forever. Just remember that.
Yep. No matter what you do, you'll find your way back somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the map itself is quite crazy. I mean, it's very rare that we get this sort of like all-rounded sort of tiebreaker that doesn't increase its BPM at the end. Isn't that strange? Like,
That is rather new, huh?
yeah, and that ending, it just like I don't even know how to describe the ending. Like, Toph did a really good job on that part.
Yeah.
But like, just absurd patterns is just like it's crazy.
It's
I think
hard
the
to
whole
comment
map,
on all of it.
Yeah, and just to give a rundown of who charted that, this was made by you, Alexire, Vito, me, Toph Daddy, and 11-bit. So yeah, it's 5 mappers on this. This is a lot.
Thank you to everyone who worked on this.
Absolutely. I really appreciate everyone who's contributed to this. As well as, I'm sure you've noticed if you've been paying attention to the replay names, Nyasen Fanboy, who recently joined us on the playtesting team, who did all 15 replays this showcase. Thank you so much, Nyasen Fanboy. And yeah, I mean, with that being said, I mean, is there anything else to go over? I mean, schedules are probably out. Or they'll be out soon. Statistics are out in the wiki, the sheets, the Discord. I'm having trouble piecing the last one, Alexa.
Maybe something about, you know,
I think I need a little bit of help here.
banners.
You know what? Like, banners? That sounds about right, man. You know what I was thinking? One banner being $2.50. You know, that's 10 gumballs, man. That's... You really...
Quite the...
Like, it's so chill. Like, I could just be like, hey, you know, give me a banner, Osu. And then Peppy will just go on my profile and hand deliver the banner directly to me. It's
Quite the bang for your buck.
It's beautiful how that works. I love supply chains.
Truly a marvel. But I believe with that said, there's not much left to talk about here, huh?
Yeah, I think we gotta go on a real vacation.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, I think, you know what, Alexa, I'll come clean. The vacation we went on, that was all set. I set you up. I'm sorry. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a relaxing time before we get straight into finals and grand finals, which, you know, the teams also can't be taking a vacation now either, because these pools are just gonna get harder and harder, and you gotta practice. No vacations.
Yeah.
Gotta wait.
Well,
Gotta wait.
it's too bad. Only, what, 2 more weeks? 3 more weeks?
Yeah.
Just
3
gotta
more weeks
sort
for
of
the
make it
players,
through.
2 more weeks for us. So yeah. Anyways, that's all we got. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and thank you so much for playing. Amazing weekend of matches. Can't wait to see the next set of matches next weekend.
Yep.
Bye!
Bye-bye.